Hi everyone, welcome to Moonbeam's Messages. This is a collective reading today that is for Sun, Moon and Risings. If it doesn't resonate with yourself, then please take what resonates with you and leave the rest for someone else. I hope you like your messages today. If you do, please like and subscribe to the channel and you'll get updates every time that I put new content on the channel. Okay, let's get into the reading. Hi, this is for the collective of Gemini. This is for those of you Geminis that are currently in separation. So it's to go over, why is it happening? What do you need to heal? Chances of reconciliation, things like that. So let's get into it then. So this is a collective reading, so please only take what resonates and leave what doesn't. Not everything will fit. Please don't force it to, okay? This could be relevant to your past, present or future situation. Today is the 15th of June, so hopefully whenever it falls into your feed, it may be relevant for you. Okay, so let's get into it. Spirit, please can we get some cards for Gemini with regards to the current collective and their separations that they may be going through. Please can we have some cards for Gemini that are in separation, Spirit? Nope. Please can we get some cards for Gemini that are in separation, Spirit? I'm not quite seeing that. Let's move them down here. Okay. So that one was slightly in. Okay, we'll do it that way. Okay, so your current energy, we have the Strength card. So you are feeling, well, it's like you're trying to muddle through whatever's going on. You're showing a lot of strength, a lot of resilience to whatever is currently happening within your realm. That is also Leo energy, so it could be that you might be dealing with a Leo as well. So I'm just trying to work out where's the best place to put this. I've kind of got my camera on a bit of a wonk, I've just noticed. So there we go. Okay, yeah, put it there. Yeah, so you've in your current energy then, so you've got that Strength card. Like I say, it is suggesting that you are currently being really, really strong. You're going through quite a lot potentially. You're being quite self-disciplined. Yeah, and you're just having that strength of will to go through whatever it is that you're going through. Now, why this happened, or why you've gone into separation, you've got this Knight of Pentacles, and that is in the reverse. So that is suggesting that somebody didn't really know what they wanted. They were a bit unreliable. They were cutting corners, being very unprofessional, very stubborn as well. So I would assume that either you or your partner that you're in separation from were very unreliable, potentially with money as well. Now, normally the Knight of Pentacles is somebody who is, very tactical with their approach. They plan everything meticulously. They do everything, by the book as such. When he's in the reverse, he's just very, very unreliable, doesn't plan anything. Yeah, just plows on regardless of any outcome. So it could be very much that somebody was, I don't know, maybe they made a lot of decisions on their own, didn't consider the partnership. Maybe they could have, just not really bothered. Maybe they did something that was a little bit painful, didn't think of what was going to happen. It could have been that they may have, I don't know, spent loads of money, bought in exterior people into the relationship and didn't actually think of the consequences, and they just plowed on regardless of anything. But yes, that's what that Knight of Pentacles is suggesting as why this happened. Let's get some clarification on that as well. So Spirit, can you clarify this Knight of Pentacles, please, on why this happened? Please clarify this Knight of Pentacles, Spirit. Okay. Okay, so that Knight of Pentacles is being clarified by, we've got the Temperance in the reverse, we have the Six of Wands in the reverse, and we have the Strength card again. So there's that Leo energy. So you've now also got Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn, and also Sagittarius energy in there as well. Okay, so that Temperance card then is suggesting that potentially there was disputes as well. There's a bit of a disharmony. Somebody felt like they were out of balance, or it might have felt like they were out of balance. You were out of balance. Potentially the relationship was a bit one-sided. Maybe somebody was making all the decisions, somebody not. It could very well be this Page of Pentacles that is making decisions without considering other people. We've got this Six of Wands in the reverse, which is suggesting that things were a little bit unsuccessful. Potentially also that somebody wasn't getting the recognition and the credit they deserved. It could also have been that there's a bit of betrayal. And then you've got the Strength card, which is suggesting to me that somebody was a little bit strong in the character. So maybe it's that one of you was very strong-willed. Potentially this could be whoever the Knight of Pentacles is. Maybe it's just that they have had a domineering attitude towards it. It could just be that somebody had to show strength of character to endure all of this that was going on, especially if it was very one-sided. Okay, now what kind of healing is required during this separation period? So we've got the Death card. Now that obviously doesn't mean that somebody needs to die. That's a little bit dramatic. But what this does suggest is that there does need to be some sort of ending. It doesn't necessarily mean that the relationship and everything else needs to completely come to an end. Okay, but it does mean that you need to have some sort of change within yourself. So whether that is literally that you need to evolve potentially, or it could just mean that you need to learn to release things. So it could be that you need to release this completely and, not necessarily revisit it. It could be that very much of you might need to release a certain viewpoint, a particular perspective. It could be even things like a religion potentially that you might have to relook at. It could very well be that maybe this Knight of Pentacles could very well have been a religious person. They follow everything based on their religion, not considering you as a person. You might be a different religion. So it might be that you might need to change your perspective and your viewpoints on certain things. But the Death card is suggesting that there is, something does need to end in order for something to be reborn. Or renewed as such. So it is just like a passage. It's a bit of an evolution, a bit of a transition. Let's get some clarification on what that could be. So Spirit, can you please clarify this Death card? So you've got the Hanged Man so far. So that is suggesting that potentially you need to look at something from a different perspective. Potentially do some meditation. Okay, we've got the Two of Swords sideways as well. So that's suggesting that you've got a bit of a challenge over making a decision. It's like you don't want to see what it is you need to do. But you need to do something. And then we've also got a Five of Pentacles coming out sideways. So with this Hangman then, yeah, so it just suggests that you need to do a bit of looking at things from a different perspective potentially. Maybe doing a bit of meditation, accepting something has come to an end, accepting certain things can't be changed. Potentially accepting that you can't influence people's choices. This Two of Swords then that is coming out to the side. So you're at a crossroads. You've got a decision to make, but you're a little bit blind. You might not have all of the information. You might only have have partial information. So this is a challenge for you. And it's literally that, or it could even be a blockage, that in order to heal, you need to make some sort of decision. You need to be adaptable. Okay, and we've also got this Five of Pentacles that's coming out sideways, which is, again, a challenge. It's like you're feeling like you're left out. You're feeling like you've been abandoned, betrayed. You're struggling. And it's like you've got support networks, but you're not necessarily accepting them. But it's like, you know that you've got it all there. You know that you need to overcome, these obstacles, that you might not necessarily have been abandoned. Could be very well that you may have ended the relationship, but you might be feeling abandoned, but you know that you ended it. So that's kind of not really abandoned if it's something that you've brought to a close. But it is suggesting that you have got a bit of sadness, you've got a bit of longing there as well, potentially, for the person that you may have separated from, or you've got a longing or a sadness for something else. But it suggested that, with the healing that's coming along here, maybe it's trying to work out why you feel like you've been abandoned, why it is that you're feeling sad over this, and kind of looking. I think what your challenge is that you've not got quite all of the information potentially to do with yourself, not so much with your person. Sorry about that. If you're just seeing a big jump in the recording, it's because I've just had to run and get the washing in. The joys of trying to get school uniform dried in the UK on a day that is full of showers. Happy weekend, everyone. Anyway, so like we were saying, so this this death card then, so what kind of healing is required? It is suggesting that you might need to be doing a little bit of introspection work, potentially looking at a different viewpoint of why it is that you're feeling so abandoned, sad, neglected. But it's something that you don't want to see, potentially. So it could very well be that maybe your partner has said something about why it is that certain things have happened from their perspective, but it could be that you're not wanting to accept it. So maybe trying to see it from their point of view. Maybe look at doing some inner healing. It might be something from your childhood that you don't necessarily realise is causing some sort of effect on you in adulthood. It could be any number of things. It might be something like, if you were a kid, when you were a kid, you might have been bullied, and it might have done something to your self-esteem as an adult. It could be that you might have had parents that may have done something. So maybe one of your parents had a very domineering attitude to making all the decisions. Especially, especially if you're older, you tend to have you might have had parents that were more, the man makes all the rules, the woman does all the looking after of the children, sort of thing. So it could very well be that you've got that in your mindset, or you don't want to do that, but they might have grown up around that sort of thing, or it could be any number of those things. So it's potentially looking at things from a different perspective. It might be painful, and that might be why you don't want to do something, and look at things at a different perspective. But it is suggesting that, as a challenge, that once you do look, and you look at things from a different perspective, you might not necessarily feel so abandoned, and it will help you make a choice that you need to make. Okay. Now, what are your chances of reconciliation? We have got a Four of Pentacles, and that has come out to the side. So it could be suggesting that one of you may be holding on and one of you is ready to release, or you just don't know at the moment. It could go either way. Let's get some clarification on that. Because usually when the Four of Pentacles is in the upright, it's somebody holding on, being really greedy, wanting to keep hold of everything, keeping it secure. When it's in the reverse, it's letting it all go. Kind of being a spendthrift as such, because it's Pentacles are generally money, but it's releasing things, not wanting to keep hold of things. So when it's a challenge, it could mean that it could go either way. Maybe that's what it this Two of Swords and the decision is, maybe it's just that you haven't made up your mind yet because you haven't done the healing behind it. And that could be why, you know, the chances of reconciliation are undecided, because you don't know what you want. Okay, so to clarify that Four of Pentacles, then we've got this Tower in the reverse. We've got the Six of Pentacles, and we've also got this Justice card in the reverse. So that is suggesting then that, you know, things have definitely fallen apart for you, but there are still some foundations there for you to rebuild from. So, you know, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's not going to happen. You have got that Tower. Like I say, it is in reverse, so there are still foundations there for you to rebuild from, and potentially rebuild it stronger and better. Okay, that Six of Pentacles is suggesting that fairness is needed. Okay, so it could very well be that whatever has happened in the past, especially over here where it feels like somebody's unappreciated, somebody might have just been running roughshod over somebody's feelings, you know, fairness is definitely required. Potentially somebody might need to give some sort of gift, some reparations, in order to make sure that it is fair. It could even be that viewpoints need to be surrendered, or, you know, maybe it could be something as simple as redistribution of household chores and workloads, you know, or the bills, things like that, because let's face it, sometimes they can get on top of us, and, you know, they can drive wedges between people. So it might just be that certain things like that need to be re-looked at, you know. And then we've got this Justice card in the reverse, which again is suggesting that there could be somebody might be being a bit inflexible at the minute, which is potentially you, because you're not looking at things from a different perspective. It can also suggest that things might be a little bit hidden from you. So again, that's that Two of Swords. So it could be very well that you might be hiding things from yourself, especially because this Two of Swords, she's got a blindfold on. She doesn't want to see the truth. So it's like you're blind. So things are hidden from you because you're blind to it. So it could very well be that, you know, that it could work out. You could be balanced, you know, but it's whether or not you want to make that decision. Because it could be that you're very fearful that if you do reconcile, it won't go your way. Because, like I say, the Tower in reverse is suggesting that you do still have strong foundations there that you can rebuild on. It's just that you're aware that the Six of Pentacles, that things need to be fair. And with this Justice card in the reverse, it could be that you're fearful that it won't go your way, okay? Or that it won't be fair to you. Yeah, and then, so let's go into, you know, what is blocking your chances of reconciliation. So we've got a Page of Cups, and it's also come out as a challenge position. Now that could potentially either be a child, it could be a new love potentially, or it could even just be you and how you're wanting to deal with things at the moment. So that Page of Cups is it's Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio energy, but that page is generally somebody that it's the beginning of a relationship. Sometimes a romantic friend. It could be that it might even just be a how to put it, it might be a new friendship that you formed, but it is in a challenge position. So it is suggesting that it could be what is blocking things. It might be what's preventing you from making the decision and looking at things properly. That could be what's preventing you from healing. But yeah, so this is potentially, it could even be a child. It could be a very artistic child, and maybe you're worried about your child, especially if you've got one with this person. But yeah, and it's somebody that's quite open-hearted about things. So this could even be your energy. But it might be that if this is your energy, it could be suggesting that maybe you're a bit closed off. maybe that you're not as open-hearted as you should be. Maybe you're not in, because you don't know what you want, you might not be interested in restarting this relationship from the beginning, to rebuild those, from those foundations. It could be that you might be looking at things a little bit from a cynical point of view and not really paying attention, and that you could be being closed off. So, I don't know what that big bang was. But yeah, so this is what potentially is blocking it. So it's either somebody being closed off emotionally, could even be the person could be being closed off emotionally, or like I say, it could be somebody or a new relationship that you may have started, or it could be that you want to start a new relationship with someone else, and that could be where you're seeing a challenge. It could even be that your person is in a new relationship with someone. Now, pages don't have to be male or female. None of the cards have to be male or female. It is just personality traits, not gender specific. So just to clarify that page of cups, we've got the King of Swords that's come out in sideways as well. So he's somebody that's very cold and closed off with emotions. We've also got the Lovers in the reverse, and we've got the Page of Pentacles come out in the reverse as well. So yeah, there's that King of Swords. So again, that King of Swords, he's in the a challenge position as well. So whatever it is, it does look as though somebody's emotions are blocked off, potentially. It seems very much like somebody can't grasp the truth as well, because they're not looking at things with a clear level head. So potentially that, I mean, if this is either a person, or a relationship, someone's not grasping that it could be a new start to something, or that, how do I put it? If it's you in a new relationship, your person might not want to be seeing it or recognizing that it is a new relationship for you. The Lovers in the reverse is suggesting that somebody may be thinking that it is the wrong choice. So whether you're thinking that something's the wrong choice, they're thinking something's the wrong choice. It could even be that your person's in a relationship with somebody and you disagree with their new relationship. With this Pentacle, the Page of Pentacles in the reverse, it's somebody that's absent-minded. Things are being delayed as well. So it could very well be that somebody's feeling, there's a lot of blocked emotions going on. You've got that, like I say, that Page of Cups with the blocked emotions. You've got this King of Swords that's completely out of touch with his emotions, completely not seeing what's in front of him. This Page of Pentacles that is completely absent-minded, and then you've got this Lovers card on the top as well, which is suggesting a poor choice, or relationships being out of sync, conflict. So it could even be that things are not in balance. So again, what is blocking it is the fact that people aren't in balance because somebody's not really engaging. They're not thinking about things. They're not engaging with their emotions. They're completely closed off. Now, the feelings of your person, or what your person's feeling about the situation, they've got this Hermit card. So they're in healing mode. The Hermit is Virgo. Gemini is the Lovers. And then the Swords, we've got Gemini, Libra, Aquarius as well. So, this could be your energy very much. It might be very much that you're the one that is being very closed off. But like I say, your person is currently in hermit mode. They are currently trying to heal. They are on their own. They're isolating themselves. And they're doing some serious introspection. And let's get some clarification on this Hermit, please, Spirit. We get some guidance, some clarification on this Hermit card, please, Spirit. Please clarify this Hermit. I'm gutted. I bought my washing in and now the sun's come back out. That's a little bit annoying. One more card, please, Spirit. Oh, you've given me two. Okay, so the Hermit card then. So we've got the Five of Swords, the Eight of Pentacles, the Devil in the reverse, and the Emperor in reverse. But your Five of Swords and your Eight of Pentacles are in the upright to clarify this Hermit. So it is suggesting to me that maybe they are feeling a little bit defensive. It could be that they feel like things have been unfair. So whether they feel like they've been unfair, maybe they feel like you've been unfair, but they are wanting to work on it, okay? They are wanting to work on whatever has been unfair within this. They're aware that there's been some drama. You know, they are feeling a little bit exiled as well. So especially with this Hermit being on his own, could very well be that maybe they've moved away. So you're in separation, but you're completely separated. So maybe they've moved out. If you were living together, but it is suggesting that they are feeling like they were, you know, they're a little bit exiled as such. But like I say, it does look as they are trying to work on it. So whether they're just working on themselves, whether they're working on, or whether they're willing to work on things with you. Now we have got a Devil in reverse, which is suggesting that they might be overcoming some sort of negative influences on them. So if your person was somebody that maybe they gambled or drank a lot, and that could be what part of this is, because they're spending all money without thinking, or they're drinking and not considering consequences, gambling, not considering consequences. You know, it could even be other vices that they may have had. Sexual addictions, potentially. It could just be that they may have been somebody that was extremely negative, or they could have been addicted to work. You know, it could be anything like that. The Devil is just some sort of negative vice or a temptation. So when it's in the reverse, it does suggest that they are healing from it. They're overcoming addictions and bad habits, breaking free from things that they know were bad for them. You know, potentially facing a lot of fears as well. So maybe they had a fear of being on their own. Maybe they had a fear of losing you. You know, it could be any number of things, but it does look as though they are learning. They're learning their lessons. And then you've got this Emperor in the reverse. Now the Emperor in the reverse is somebody who can be a little bit manipulative. He can be a little lax on boundaries. He can be a bit oppressive, but he's also a bit weak and unstable, and might not have some self-discipline. So it could very well be that part of what he's trying to heal from is things that have come from being this Emperor in the reverse. Now the Emperor's Aries, and then the Devil is Capricorn, I believe. Yeah. But yeah, so it could very well be that, you know, that they recognise that they've got some quite negative traits with this Emperor. You know, a little bit lawless, can be oppressive, abuses power, inflexible. And they're trying to break free from those habits. They're trying to heal themselves and come from that. It could also very well be that they may see you with some of these traits, and it might be that they're trying to potentially break free from codependency. It could be that they may see you as being codependent potentially, and they want to heal from that. So yeah, so just take it as that resonates, because that can go either way for people. But yeah, to me though, it does look more as though that they're trying to break free from these negative traits themselves. And then in the guidance for your current situation, so you've got the King of Swords sideways. So again, it's that King of Swords, lack of emotions, and we have this Judgment card in the reverse as well. So to me, it's suggesting that you need to stop being so critical of people. Now, it could be very much that you are You could be somebody that could be a little bit controlling. You could be very critical. But you might not be, but you could be somebody that maybe you're a bit judgy potentially sometimes. And it's just suggesting that that might be a bit of a challenge. So, what you need to do is kind of break free from that. Stop criticizing people, especially yourself. And then with this judgment card, it is suggesting as well that you have had a bit of a wake-up call, but you're just hiding from it at the moment. So what you need to do is see what it is. And if you have got a bit of responsibility that you need to accept for with what's going on for the situation, accepting that responsibility, because it's not always one person's fault. Sometimes we all do things that we're not ashamed, that we are ashamed of, that we don't think contribute to things. But we don't recognize it as being an issue until it's pointed out to us. So sometimes it is accepting accountability for things that we've done as well, because no one's blameless when relationships come to an end. Even in relationships where you end up with, is it the empath and the narcissist? At the end of the day, the empaths put themselves in that position. But what you tend to find as well is that they may have lacked respect for themselves. It could be that they might have been trying to do everything possible for a narcissist, but at the end of the day, they've not really given themselves respect. But they could have also took a bit of respect away from the supposed narcissist as well, because if you're doing everything, you're not giving them a chance to show that they're doing things. And then if things can fall apart because one person feels like they're doing more than the other. But it could be something where they've done it to themselves. Do you know what I mean? So there's, but sometimes you don't really see it if you don't want to. So there could be a lot of things that you might that you might think were absolutely fine, but in reality, if you actually sat and analysed them, certain things, can you blame them? It's like if you are somebody that keeps giving and giving and giving and giving and giving, and then you feel like they're constantly taking and not giving back. At what point have you turned around and said to them, now you need to give back? Or when have you stopped giving because they haven't given back? If you keep doing it, they're just going to keep taking because that's what they're expecting. That's what they've got used to, especially if you've been in a long-term relationship. So if you start asking for things back, it might feel to them all of a sudden that they're not good enough. It could also be the other way around. You could be taking, and they could be giving, and you think it's absolutely normal because you're so used to it. But yeah, so with this King of Swords, like I say, it does suggest that you might not be able to grasp the truth of a situation, and the Judgment card is suggesting that, like I say, that you have had a wake-up call. You've been told what's going on, but you're not willing to accept it or act on it. Again, this could be this Two of Swords that on the side. It's like you don't want to see where things could be your fault. It's like you don't necessarily want to accept that things could be partially your fault, or you're not accepting the situation for what it is. Okay, now to go alongside with these, we've got the Six of Swords in the reverse, which is suggesting that you're not really moving forward. You're feeling really stuck. You've got the Seven of Swords sideways, which again, so it's a challenge of laying your cards out on the table, complete disclosure, complete clarity, seeing the truth of the situation. And then we have this Empress in the reverse, which is suggesting that you could be feeling quite overwhelmed by everything as well. So I can understand if you are feeling very overwhelmed, you're not going to want to make a decision. You don't want to see it, purely because sometimes when you're faced with certain things, it can be so overwhelming to deal with that, you might just close yourself off and you become that King of Swords. But yeah, so it is very much suggesting that what you need to do is see things for what they are. Accept any responsibilities that you may have played in this, and learn do your part for healing as well, and make a decision ultimately over what it is that you actually want. Okay, so let's get those out of the way. All of a sudden, I'm glad I haven't put my washing back out, because the biggest, greyest cloud is now coming over. Okay, so we're going to get a dark confessions of the soul to see if there's any messages that your person currently has that they cannot, or that they can't tell you or don't want to tell you, but they may be thinking. Now, just a slight warning, these can be quite triggering, I find. Some of them are a little bit dark, hence the name Dark Confessions of the Soul. Spirit, can we get some dark confessions of the soul for what Gemini's person may be currently feeling but not able to communicate? Let's get one more, please, Spirit. Okay, so for some of you then, we've got it's too late, I moved on and do not wish to reconnect. So for those of you that are hoping for reconnection, I'm sorry if that one relates to you. I am distracting myself to avoid thinking of you, which suggests that it could be very, very painful for them to think of you. I feel imbalanced and uneasy. I don't know what to do to fix it. Now, to me, that could be more of a card for you, or it could very much be, so in their feelings, they were willing to work on it, and they're trying to heal themselves, and they want to work on it, but they just don't know what to do for you. There are feelings of anger inside me that I need to release before I explode. So that could be anger about things that you may have done. It could also be that they're angry about themselves, but they don't know how to release that energy at the moment. And again, that could be why they may be going through that, the devil in the reverse. They're trying to heal from it, because that could be something that, they're aware that their toxic behavior has caused things to implode potentially. And they could be feeling really angry with themselves over everything. Just knocking a load of cards off. Right, let's get some Moonology Oracle cards as well for you to see if Spirit has got any other messages for you in particular, to see if there's anything that could help. My apologies if you can hear somebody coughing in the background. My child's currently got a cold. Can we get a Moonology card, please, Spirit, for Gemini? That's weird. All these were in the upright. Now I've got one in the reverse. Oh, we've got quite a few of them popping out. Got some more in the reverse. How odd. Right, so we've got Believe in the Impossible with Blue Moon. Emotions are running high with a super moon, but that one's come out in reverse. So that could be suggesting that people are feeling very closed off. Your hard work is paying off, again, in the reverse. So that could be because you might be feeling a bit stuck and things aren't really moving. It's time to release negativity. Now, that one should always be in an upright, but it has come out in reverse. I would probably suggest that always releasing negativity is something, but when it says it's time to release negativity, it might be that you might just need to release negativity that you might be thinking towards yourself potentially. It could be that certain things you may feel are negative, but you might just need to have a re-look at have another look at it from a different perspective to see whether or not it is actually negative. And then time to give rather than to take. So maybe you're one of those people where I was saying earlier about being, you know, people that take and people that give. But yeah, it could even be that you need to give to yourself as well, because sometimes, you know, if you are somebody that gives and gives, you don't give to yourself. You take from yourself when you're constantly giving to others. Okay, so it could be either. So right, I hope that has helped some of you Geminis out there that are currently in separation. Good luck, and I hope everything goes well for you. And thank you for joining me.